Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So today we are going to be talking about some big news, kind of a little bomb dropped by LEC Wooloo on us. If you guys don't know about him, he is one of the best accounts to follow out there for kind of rumor, speculation, news in the LEC, in the LCS. He does a lot of European regional league stuff. He is just a great follow on Twitter overall. He has a lot of insider information, a lot of knowledge and stuff. And today he's not dropping any inside information or anything. It's just a Twitch clip that we're going to be checking out. But it is a really big news and story that kind of doesn't paint Fnatic in the best picture, in the best light, and could explain, maybe some of their issues at Worlds last year. Overall, I just think it's a really big and interesting story. Also, side note, right now I'm wearing like a yellow, like mustard shirt. For whatever reason, the green screen thinks it's green. It's picking up a little bit, so sorry about that. We'll try and do our best to ignore that if we can. I would appreciate that. Also, before we get into it, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys have not already, please take a second and smash that like button. I would appreciate it so much. It is an awesome way to help support my channel and my content. If you're interested in doing that, run those numbers up. That would be awesome. It really does help me out. We're trying to hit, like 100 likes per video, in that ballpark area. That'd be great. Also subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. With that being said, let's get right into this. Wooloo talks about, he tweeted this out, that Nemesis knew before playing a single game at Worlds that he would get benched by Fnatic. And then a Twitch clip from a recent live stream from Nemesis we'll check out in a second. But he also talked about, generally, if he hears a rumor about a player being replaced, the player knows it already, but he's always trying to be very careful for that. And then this guy said, but I don't understand how it was a leak that he was getting benched even before the World started. It was one of your leaks. And Wooloo said, no, he leaked it after Fnatic was eliminated from Worlds. So, Wooloo's just saying that he generally tries to be careful of this, because obviously if a player hears they're going to be getting benched right before a massive tournament like Worlds, it could affect their performance. It could affect their team's performance. It could affect a lot. And that's kind of what makes this story so crazy. So let's hear it firsthand from the mouth of Nemesis. Obviously, see what he has to say about the situation, about this matter, and what this clip is. It's kind of blowing up. It's just 8,000 views on a Twitch clip. That's pretty big. Let's see what he's got to say.
Can I say Nemesis?
Did you expect after Worlds that you may get replaced? Or did you think you will get another chance?
Brax, thank you for donating €1. I knew I was getting replaced during Worlds, when even before I played one game of Worlds, I knew it. Because they leaked it.
So obviously that was crazy, and that was surprising for a lot of people to hear that Nemesis, obviously, again, there was the rumors, there's the speculation. I don't necessarily remember exactly everything that was going on at this point, because at this point, I wasn't super big into the rumor and speculation game and stuff. I didn't, have as many connections and as big of a following as I do now. I wasn't, checking Twitter and hitting people up and stuff all the time. So I suspected Nemesis could be replaced from Fnatic, just like a lot of people did, but I didn't necessarily know that there was a leak or a rumor or anything out there like that. Obviously, after Worlds and after Wooloo started tweeting about that, we learned about that Nemesis wouldn't be returning to Fnatic. But to hear it happened before even a single game was played at Worlds, that's pretty surprising to me in a lot of ways. One, obviously Nemesis did not have the best summer split, he didn't have the best summer playoffs, but what if he would have performed really well at Worlds? Why were they making a decision that didn't need to be made before Worlds even happened? Like, yeah, maybe they could get an early head start on potential candidates to replace him and free agency and reaching out to people and all that stuff. Maybe they had even started talking to Niski a little bit before Worlds. I mean, maybe they knew Niski was the guy they wanted the whole time. I'm not exactly sure in terms of that regards, but what if Nemesis would have done really well? What if he would have popped off? Again, Fnatic was one game away from being a top 4 team at Worlds, and maybe that's better than Fnatic even expected that they were going to be able to do. I don't really know, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. But then also thinking back to Fnatic and how just poorly managed that situation is, why would you want to even have the information possible to be leaked that your starting mid laner, your guy that you're putting your world hopes and kind of dreams and season on, the biggest international tournament of the year, the one opportunity for Fnatic to really go out and prove something and make a name for themselves and a lot of their players and for their organization, for their fan base, for the LEC. Why would you want that story to even have a chance to get out and leak? And then Nemesis, I can't even imagine the pressure and everything that he was under and going through, and the stress of he knew he didn't have a great summer split. He knew he didn't have a great summer playoffs. I'm sure he knew that him getting replaced was an option. You know, obviously he was hopeful that what he had done in the past and Fnatic's faith in him and belief in him, that he would, you know, have a chance at Worlds to prove himself. And even if he didn't do well, that he would have a chance to get better over the offseason and come back stronger in 2021. But to hear before World even starts that you're going to be getting replaced and thinking of the stress and like, how would you not just be thinking about that all the time? Not only do you have to practice a ton for Worlds, scrim a ton for Worlds, play against some of the best players and teams in the whole world on the biggest stage in front of so many fans while you're getting judged on social media and by your coaching staff and by the analysts and by the broadcast and by everybody watching, again, on the biggest stage. And then you also don't even have the confidence of your organization, don't even have the confidence of your coaching staff, don't even have the confidence of the management and everybody around you. Like, this just seems like a really, really silly decision by Fnatic. And then obviously, you know, Nemesis didn't end up playing that well at Worlds. Could that have been he was just already out of form and wasn't looking that good and was maybe not having the greatest season anyway? Yeah, definitely. I'm sure that was a part of it. I'm not saying that wasn't a part of it. But then also, throw on all of this on top of that, and it could have absolutely affected his play. And had all of this not gone on, could Nemesis have been able to play a little bit better? Could his performances have been a little bit better? Could Fnatic's result have been a little bit better? Could it have been so good that they won a single more game against top esports in that series, or maybe did a little bit better in groups and even had a totally different matchup? Like, yes, I believe that in some world it absolutely could have happened. They needed to win one more game against top esports to make the top 4 at Worlds, to make the semifinals, which would have been an awesome, awesome season for that Fnatic team, for the Fnatic organization, when they've been in the shadow of G2 for so long. Like, yeah, they have that World's final appearance, but since then, it's been all G2 all the time in Europe and really in the League of Legends scene. And Fnatic to make a semifinal, that's huge. Western teams, it's not like they're making semifinal appearances all the time. And then for G2 to go out in semifinals, if Fnatic could have made it just as far as G2 did, that could have been a huge story. That could have been really, really big. But to me, it's really, really silly that Fnatic let something like this happen. And I'm so shocked to hear, again, that obviously Nemesis being replaced was a possibility, but to hear that he knew he was getting replaced before he played even a single game at Worlds, that's really, really crazy to me. That seems like mismanagement. That seems like a very, very poor situation, how it was handled by the Fnatic management team, staff. You know, who knows exactly who put the information out there, or why it leaked, or how it leaked, or whatever, whose fault it was. But man, that is a very, very big deal. It's a very, very big story. I hope that doesn't happen to another player again, because these players are already, a lot of them, stressed out of their minds, or in, for the most part, very, very unhealthy schedules of practice and training and stress and all this stuff going on. And to throw a huge, massive career change on somebody before the biggest tournament of the season is really, really just gross to me, really, really bad. And, you know, props to Nemesis for being able to compete through that. He had some okay games. He had some okay performances. Thinking back, there was this story from Applehead during the offseason where he said a tragic story from Worlds. Fnatic wanted to sub in Magic Felix after a poor showing from Nemesis. He sadly could not do this due to severe stage anxiety that prevented him from playing on stage. Nemesis then went on to play his infamous Galio, which he did not farm, an absolute shame. This was honestly probably the worst game of Worlds from Nemesis, was his Galio game. This is a story I've talked about and covered on the channel a little bit in the past. I cannot confirm whether this is true or not. This is just a rumor that is being thrown around. Applehead has tweeted about this multiple times. He's talked about it before, that he heard that, you know, Fnatic was potentially wanting to put Magic Felix in. Was it because of anxiety? Was it because he wasn't prepared, or he wasn't ready, or maybe this just wasn't true? You know, I don't know. But there were at least some rumors and talks during Worlds that Fnatic was losing confidence in Nemesis and maybe potentially wanting to bench him then, maybe wanting to put in their sub mid laner. So a couple games into Worlds, you know, this started to make sense, and this started to be a thing that many more people had heard about and many people understood and knew. But to hear, like they say in this clip, that there was also some of that discussion before he had even played a single game is much, much different to me, and is really, really weird. And again, I think it's just really poorly handled. And I think Fnatic, needs to figure this out, and maybe they need to get some backlash and deserve some more flack and stuff for this, because I think this is really, really bad. I think that if something like this happened in North America, like if this was TSM, for example, they'd be getting memed to death. They'd be getting, a lot of hate and flack and stuff on Reddit, Twitter, and all that stuff, and rightfully so. TSM has mishandled a ton of situations where they deserve some of the hate and some of the negative feedback and stuff that they've gotten, and I think this is definitely a situation scenario where Fnatic deserves some of that, and hopefully they can learn from this. Hopefully this is a situation that doesn't happen again, whether it's shoring up leaks in your organization, which is sometimes not even possible to do and really, really difficult, but also just understanding how terrible and how dumb of a decision. And then, there's all these funny reactions and stuff saying because they leaked it, so he knew it from you. And Wooloo, that was my thought too as well. Like, oh, was Wooloo the one that leaked this? Was he the one saying it? And like this guy said, that must have been really good for player morale and team atmosphere. Because it could leak into the other players too. If they know that the coaching staff and everything doesn't believe in their mid laner and they're going to be getting somebody else, maybe they start worrying about themselves getting replaced, or maybe they just even lose more confidence in Nemesis and what's going on. It's like, who is this guy? He's, the coaches think he sucks. We think he sucks. Everybody think you're just starting a really, really bad situation. No wonder they choked that 2-0. That's a very, very fair point too. When you're stressed out, you're more prone to tilting and kind of, maybe more susceptible to those reverse sweeps and stuff. That once stuff started going bad, maybe they were already at their wits' end. Maybe they were already at that mental tipping point. And once they started to lose games and lose faith and lose confidence, it was really easy to let it go downhill fast. Because Fnatic did have an absolutely massive collapse in that series. This guy says literally no correlation, but, I don't know. There seems to be something here. It was really, really interesting, and I'm glad that Nemesis answered the question and kind of gave us the truth about what was happening, and I hope everyone in the situation can learn from it, and I really hope we see Nemesis back in the LEC and the LCS in Professional League of Legends at some capacity in the very, very near future, because I still think he does deserve a second chance, a second shot, and I don't know where that's going to be, but I'm excited to find out. But that is pretty much it for this video today, everyone. Thank you so much. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it a ton. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this whole situation? Do you think that Fnatic messed up here, or do you think it's not that big of a deal and Nemesis should just be able to play through it, and if he doesn't want to get replaced, he should just play better? I could definitely see that side as well. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!